How about we start off today's show with some good news? Because I've got some for you. 1 month from now, we're going to have the return of Pac-12 sports. And that means we're one step closer to having football games played here, and of course, some basketball games right here. So we're going to talk about what that all means, when the Wildcats are playing, and how they might fare this season. Plus, we've got special guest Stevie Rocker, Arizona football commit for the 2021 class. Let's go. What's up, everybody? I'm Alec White here from the Arizona Daily Star with another episode of The Back Page. Last weekend, the Pac-12 announced the 7-game conference schedule beginning on November 6th. And I'm not going to lie to you, the Wildcats did not get any favors handed to them with their schedule. It starts brutal. 3 games, with the first one at Utah, then they come home to USC, then they go to Washington. Could be a rough start to the Wildcat season, but I anticipate things will get a little bit easier on the back half as they play UCLA, Colorado, and then Arizona State at home, where that game is a toss-up every single year. So I anticipate the Wildcats could go anywhere between probably 2-4 for the 6-game schedule, and then on the to-be-determined date at the end for the Pac-12 championship. And the Wildcats probably won't play that one, but if they get a decent opponent, they could end up 3-4. All right, now on to the basketball season. The good news, we're going to probably have a basketball season beginning November 25th. The bad news, there's going to be a lot of changes to what we originally thought the Wildcats schedule was going to be. The first change, sadly, we're probably not going to have the red and blue game. The Wildcats aren't going to be able to scrimmage against each other or hold fans inside McHale Center in 2020. So we're going to be looking at no red and blue this season. So what else is going to be changed from the schedule? The Gonzaga game is going to be rescheduled the next year, and the Wildcats also might not travel to play Illinois. 2 out-of-conference games that I know a lot of people are excited about, including myself. But let's talk about some of the positives now. The Wildcats are going to likely play the majority of their non-conference games at McHale Center to avoid some of the travel. And that's good news because the Wildcats are usually one of the best teams in the country when they play at home. So for a new, young roster to be at home in the early months of the season, the Wildcats could be getting out to a good start this year. All right, now we have Stevie Rocker, running back at CDO. He's going to be a future Wildcat in the 2021 recruiting class. He's one of the best running backs in the state. I got a chance to talk with him about his favorite NFL running backs and how excited he is that he gets to play high school football this season. Oh, you guys are getting ready for the high school football season. How is it seeing all of your teammates, the whole team, your coach in person again?
It's a great feeling after us thinking we were going to have our spring training and then get shut down for 6 months when we thought it was only going to be a week. So then being able to see everybody again, it's a great feeling to have that family atmosphere back together. But obviously I missed it. It's been way too long without football. So this whole week's just been a full gaze for me just because I haven't had football in so long. I don't know what to do with myself. Now that it's back, I don't know what to do with myself again. But all around, best thing ever.
Who was the first person you told that you were going to go to U of A?
My sister. So me and my sister were actually driving to a family friend's house at the time when I was trying to go through this process. And when I talked to Coach Sumlin, I was in the car on our way back to our house. And she was basically the first one in there hearing me talk with him, talk about it. So I was sitting there after I talked to Coach Sumlin and I told her, I was like, I think I'm going to make the decision. And then she was very first person I told, and I started telling my mom, my dad, my girlfriend. I started telling basically the people that have been around me enough to understand my process, which was basically only those 4 people.
Let's talk about U of A's offensive style. They run a lot out of shotgun, and CDO does that as well. I've seen some of the highlights. You run under center sometimes, and then out of the shotgun. Is it easier to run out of shotgun or under center? What do you like as a running back?
Honestly, as a running back, you should be able to do both because mostly teams go through both offensive schemes. But me personally, I grew up I was an under center player growing up through Pop Warner, but then slowly as I started getting older, we started growing up into the shotgun, which since passing started to grow a lot bigger as I changed through Pop Warner into high school into high school football. So it kind of kind of grew me into the shotgun kind of formational thing, but I prefer the shotgun because I can see more than just the linebackers in front of me. I can see what the corners are doing, how the receivers are going to block with that, how the safeties are moving around, so I can see a lot more.
Is there a specific player either in college or the pros that you try to model your game after? Could be a former player, past player, or somebody that you watch on Saturdays or Sundays right now.
Oh man. Well, my two personal favorite players now is Saquon Barkley, because a lot of people say that's how I'm built. Like my body shape looks like him. And then me growing up as I was little, I always watched Derrick Henry. I liked his running style a lot because he was big as a running back, and me growing up, I was really tall for my age playing running back. Mostly I was always either the same height or taller than the quarterbacks. So seeing him and watching him, I like related to that a little bit, just to understanding as being a taller and bigger running back, but still being able to make that position, still be able to work and obviously be great at it.
Let's go through your top 5 overall running backs that you like to watch on Sundays. Is Saquon number 1?
Yes, Saquon. Okay. Saquon, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey. I started to get a like from him after watching him when he was at Stanford. Alvin Kamara. I started to watch him a little bit more once he started to get a little bit bigger after watching him when he was with the Saints, or when he's with the Saints, seeing him play. But let's see, number 5. I think it would probably be like a later version, but it would be Adrian Peterson when he was with the Vikings.
Okay, yeah.
I used to watch him when he was playing with the Vikings a lot, like growing up, and I liked him at the time. He was the reason I bought, I think one of the Maddens, because I think he was like a cover art for it at the time or something. But I just remember watching all those players are kind of people I look up to because they're more of a mixture of what I am built into myself. So I like watching all of that just to see what it's like to put one distinct piece of myself on the field at the same time, and watching them do how they work their stuff and how they do it.
Let's talk about your fantasy team this year. Did you draft any of the guys that are on that top 5 list that we just went over?
So I wanted to, but my friends picked up those two like their very first picks. And
Saquon and Henry?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then who did I picked up Leonard Fournette, and I picked up one other person. I can't remember who. Todd Gurley. I picked up Leonard Fournette and Todd Gurley. I picked up those two. But I wanted to get them because I picked the quarterback up first, because if you don't pick up a quarterback in fantasy, there's a problem. And I wanted to go quarterback, running back, and then I'd pick one receiver, and then I would just choose from something, whatever was left. So then I tried to pick Saquon as my second one. Someone picked him up as their first pick. So then I tried to get Christian McCaffrey because he's a good fantasy player. So I tried to pick him up. He was gone. Derek, he was gone. So then I picked up Leonard Fournette because he's actually a really good player too. Then I picked up Todd Gurley because he's with the Falcons, and the Falcons are actually a pretty good running team. So picking up those two, I think were pretty good picks for myself, but it sucks not being able to get the players that I obviously liked.
I'm glad to see that you're healthy, your team's all seems to be healthy, and I look forward to watching some CDO football here in the next month. That'll do it for today's episode of The Back Page. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe to the Arizona Daily Star and download the free Wildcaster app for all your Arizona Wildcats news.